Our oldest brother, Alex, was the person who... Alex was a wonderful man, a wonderful older brother. And he brought music into our house, and rock and roll, and Elvis Presley, and the Swan Silver Tones. And he would come, and he grew his hair long, and he fought the battles with my parents. And after they got through with Alex, there was James, Kate, myself, and our little brother Huey, and they had no fight left in them after Alex. So for James, Kate, and me, and Hugh, it was just smooth sailing. After Alex, my parents just said, well, whatever.
Whatever works, right? Thank you, Alex. Now, Alex is not with us anymore, about 10 years ago, 9 years ago?
Thank you for asking, Michael. My brother Alex, he's a beautiful, beautiful soul, and he passed about 11 years ago. He struggled with alcoholism his whole life, and eventually it cost him his life. So that's a sadness that happens, and we miss him.
It's in a lot of families. I mean, alcoholism's in my family, and it's hard to place the empathy because you're a combination of sad and angry at the same time.
Well, you do get that, but that said, if the love is strong enough, eventually what you remember is the quality of the person. And my brother Alex was a really, really wonderful man.
And obviously very influential on you musically. He introduced so many musical styles to you and your brother James.
Yeah, clearly, James, Kate, and I wouldn't have had a chance. It wouldn't have made music.
Well, we're going to talk more about your family background. Part of a musician's family are the albums that they make, and you're working on a very large project right now.
I've got a project that I've been writing songs. I've been very prolific for the last couple of years. I don't know what happened. I live up there at Harvard University, and when I got to Harvard, they made me an artist in residence. And when I got there, I just started writing songs. I live in one of the houses at Harvard called Lowell House. And there's a place called the Junior Common Room, and there's no undergraduate who's ever up early in the morning, and I always am. So there's this beautiful Steinway piano there, and I would go in and starting at about 8 o'clock because I knew I wouldn't see an undergrad till at least 11 or 12. And so every morning I get that beautiful piano and just started writing songs and had a wonderful time.
You come from a musical family, though. Your mom was very musical.
Well, my mother was she came from Newburyport, Massachusetts. And she met my father. My father went to Harvard Medical School and was doing his residency at MGH, and she met him there. And she wanted to be a singer in the worst kind of way. But she, that's 40s, early 50s, and it was just difficult. It was difficult to get a start making music, and so she married my dad, had a fistful of kids, and
now your dad was a doctor.
Yeah,
he's not a musical man.
No, he wasn't a musical man, but he liked making people feel better, and so that's what we like to do as well.
Now you have another brother besides Alex, who's also very musical.
Yeah, my beautiful older brother James.
James Taylor, of course. Everybody loves James.
Absolutely.
He was your guitar teacher.
James was my reluctant guitar teacher. When I was a kid, I would watch James play guitar, and this guitar style we do, that's really James's style. He really innovated that, and James is known as a fine singer and a songwriter, etc. But he is an amazing guitar player, and he was that good a long time ago. And so I was a couple of years younger, and I would watch him play guitar, and I wanted to play guitar too. So I would there were plenty of instruments around the house, and so I would get my guitar. I'd go up near James. I would play the lick wrong. And what James would do is for this small price, he would slug me, and then he would show me how to do it right. So for a minor noogie, I got shown how to do it right. And thank you, James.
typical older brother.
Older brother behavior.
You, if people listening on our radio shows, listening to you, they can, if they're experienced guitar players, they could tell that you're playing with the steel finger picks.
Yes.
Does James play with those?
No, and James and I have battled about the steel picks for 35 years.
Now, when we're talking about steel finger picks, those who don't know, you've got a plastic thumb pick, and you've got 3 steel finger picks on your fingers.
Yes, and I use the steel picks. I don't necessarily have to use them. I can play without them, but generally
it's a more muted, lighter sound.
It's a little lighter sound, and
whereas the steel finger pick is going to bring the boldness of the wood out.
Well, and also gives you a greater dynamic range, which is basically why I use the finger picks. Also, James is continually tortured by fingernails breaking all the time, and he has to be very. What you can't see on the radio, of course, is that I'm pretty beat up. I do lots of things all the time. The idea of holding on to fingernails is just inconceivable. So it's one of the compromises we make.